I'm definitely, whenever we get assisted sui, I'm definitely.
Oh my God, Kip.
Well, no, not right away. I'm just like, yeah, that's my
You're like,
plan.
day one, I'm doing it. Goodbye.
Hello, and welcome to Baby That's Cont. I'm Kip, your resident relocation specialist.
And I'm Joseph, and I'm in my congenial era.
And today we
This
have
week,
a special guest.
yes, we have an extra special guest judge this week. And when I say judge, I mean judger against me, my number one roaster. She's an amazing writer and journalist, a romance book enjoyer, but most importantly, my best friend. Give it up for Natalie. Hold for
Woo!
applause.
Hi, I'm Natalie, and I am chronically overwhelmed.
Oh.
Cheers for that.
What would you say is grinding your gears this week?
A million work projects that I'm behind on. And I also feel like it's that time of the summer where everybody wants to be outside. So like everyone has decided to make a plan and like invite everybody to their house or to a bar. It's too much stuff. And we have like just a lot of summer travel. So there's just a
Oh,
lot
that's
happening.
fun. Where are you going?
We so I don't know if you know this yet, Kip, but we're moving to Portland, me and Henry.
No. Congratulations.
Thank you. We really want to be back on the West Coast.
It
And
is the best
so
coast.
it is the best coast. I've been here for 10 years and I do like it here. I actually really like it here, but it's time for me to leave. So, yeah, we are moving in probably September. And so we're going literally in less than a week. We're flying out to Portland to like look at apartments and stuff. Um, So that's a little overwhelming, but also
Yeah.
pretty exciting.
Very exciting. What made you make the move? Beyond like wanting to be on the West Coast, or is that it?
I thought you were going to say
Why do
be
you?
honest.
Why do you want to be in Portland? I guess is the question.
Okay, so we want to be closer to family on the West Coast. A. Um, and then also Henry does not like LA, so we will not be moving back to LA, mostly for
Relatable.
that reason. Um,
I love LA.
I do too. I'm not going to lie to you. I actually love LA, but I do think it would be hard to go back to living there after being in a really walkable city, like a dense city for 10 years. I think it
Yeah,
would be
yeah,
hard to go back to the very car centered sprawl.
yeah. You have to
Um,
live in West Hollywood and then not do anything else.
I don't think that would be our bag. So, yeah.
But
It's just really hard. It's also just so fucking expensive.
yeah,
So yeah, we ended up going to Portland a couple of years ago randomly for a friend's wedding. And we both loved it so much, which was kind of surprising to me. I didn't think I was necessarily going to love it, but I did. Really good food. So gorgeous, like really nice nature around. So yeah, we decided, fuck it. Let's give it a shot.
nice. And what are you doing for work? Like, what's the work plan for you both?
So he's totally remote, so he's fine. And then I'm figuring it out. One of the jobs that I have, so I'm a freelance journalist doing lots of different types of projects. And one of the jobs that I have uh, is totally remote and I can be anywhere doing it. So that will be fine. Obviously, I also recently helped launch a local news organization in DC. And that is like a little more complicated. I'm going to still be involved and like obviously still helping out, but I can't, it doesn't really make sense for me to be doing what I'm doing now if I'm not living in the city and I can't report here and stuff. So,
Yeah. Is it purely like local news, like really focused on events and happenings in DC, or is it also some more like, I don't know,
No,
political
it's
or national
completely
coverage?
local. I mean, obviously, like it's DC, so
Yeah.
much of what happens in the White House and on Capitol Hill directly affects the city. So we do end up writing about like whatever dumb shit Congress did, like insofar as it affects DC.
Yeah.
Um, and the people who live here. But mostly, yeah, it's like we do arts, food, culture, local politics, and then just like local, like lifestyle type stories, kind of. I don't know if that's the right way to frame it, but like we always say it's like we want to make it like easier for people who live in DC to know where to go, what to do, what's going on, etc.
Got it. That's cool.
Fun. I have a
Isn't
question.
it? Okay, yes.
Are you looking for a roommate in Portland? Because I also work remote. I can go anywhere.
Like are we talking temporary, permanent?
Yeah, like temporary.
Yeah, come on over. I'm actually really scared. Actually, I will probably beg you to come, like, stay with us because
Begging.
actually, I am scared. I only know one person who lives in Portland already. So I feel like I'm going to get lonely. I feel like it's going to be kind of a hard adjustment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely down to visit. I've never been there. I only know Portlandia, the show, which is fun.
My understanding is it is pretty accurate. So
Okay.
let's see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to hear how it is meeting people there because obviously I've only lived in Seattle, which is different, but it is Pacific Northwest, and it was very hard to meet people who weren't like from there because the general attitude was just very much like, at least in Seattle, it was just full of like people who moved for Amazon or whatever and were there for temporary times, and so
Yeah.
like native Seattle people were not interested in getting to know you, which was fair because I left very quickly.
I think that like a lot of large cities have that thing. People often say that about DC that it's really transient and it's really hard to like get to know people and whatever. I just feel like you kind of have to put the effort in and the longer you're there, like I'm ready to ride it out. I feel like the first year is going to be hard and then hopefully it'll start to get a little better from there and that's how it was here. It's like my first 2 years I would say weren't as like I didn't have as many friends and I wasn't as like social as I am now. So I've been here for 10 years now. Now it feels like I know everybody, which
Yeah. You kind of just need to make like one friend that has other friends and then you latch on.
yeah, exactly.
Then that helps a lot.
I do have someone I would be happy to connect you with, who I feel like you'd vibe with.
Oh my god,
She
yay,
works for
thank you.
me, but we were friends first, and
She's your direct report.
I don't remember talking about before this to cut back in, but
well, we were talking
um,
about transients and DC and stuff like
oh,
that, so that could
yeah.
lead into my question I have. Okay, so DC, very transient city. You've been there 10 years. Like, what is it like to live somewhere where, administrations are constantly changing? Obviously, a decent percentage of the population lives there all the time, but also, like, a lot of people are moving in and out, and the vibe is shifting constantly. Like, what is that like?
Yeah, I feel like it is like that. Um, there are huge numbers of people who do cycle in and out with different administrations. And there are like certain neighborhoods where like a lot of the Republican Hill staffers live, and certain areas where like a lot of the well, really, honestly, the entire city is basically Democratic, except for the people who are here to work on Capitol Hill. Um, but honestly, it's not. I feel like I'm pretty insulated from that world because pretty soon after I moved here, I started working in local news, and that just like changed my perspective on the city and my experience of the city a lot because I was suddenly around a lot of people who were really invested in DC for the experience of living here rather than as like a career stepping stone, or like they moved here because they're trying to get somewhere else. I mean, there is still some of that, but for the most part, it's like people who really care about the city, making things better. It's a really like civically engaged place to live. Like, I don't think anywhere else in the world, if you go out to the bar, you can hear the tables next to you talking about the news of the day. Like, everybody is extremely clued in on everything, both locally and nationally, which is kind of nice, but also kind of annoying when you don't feel like talking about
Yeah,
whatever
you need a
job.
break, the
Yeah.
detox.
um, but I'm also a little bit like that, so I do get it. But yeah, I feel insulated from that transient nature because I've been here for so long and because I've worked in local news. Um, and so for me, it's like the vibes do change. Like, the vibes are worse when Donald Trump is president. We do not are not happy about it. Um, well, and also just recently, there's been a lot of like anxiety and a lot of fear around federal workers. Like, there are obviously a lot of federal
Yeah.
workers who live in the area and who are like worried about losing their jobs or have lost their jobs, or that whole thing. And so I think right now people are also really worried about like what's going to happen to the local economy, and we're going to have to figure out how to diversify if there are as many federal job losses as it seems like they want. Um, by they, I mean, um, so I'm not saying the vibe doesn't change at all. It definitely does. But sometimes I think it's like a little bit exaggerated in the imagination of other people. It's like still the same. It's really the
It's
same.
like the same people are still there in the city, right?
Yeah. And it's like my life doesn't, I'm going outside, walking down my street, getting my same,
Yeah.
iced coffee from my same place and like seeing the same people. Um, so yeah, it affects things, but it's not wild.
Yeah. It's been so interesting with this administration because it really, did seem like the end of the country, and maybe it is, but at the same time, I am still, to your point, like my day to day life hasn't changed much, and I'm still living in a house I love and enjoying my beautiful neighborhood, and like, like the day to day of my life hasn't changed much. So it's very weird.
Yeah, that sometimes to me does feel like dystopian though. Sometimes I'm like, we're all still going to work like this is normal. Like, we're all
I know.
just,
Yeah. Every time something bad happens, but you're like, well, it's 9 a.m. I still have to do my whole day like normal.
yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. At
Um,
least you're on the East Coast, you
Yeah.
get like half of your day is over already. I wake up and I'm like, what fresh hell just happened?
yeah, yeah, it disturbs me a little bit. But at the same time, then I think like, well, what choice do we have? Like, I can't lie in bed
Yeah.
thinking, like just panicking all day. I feel like
Yeah.
it's a challenge and a balance of like I'm really trying to stay informed, understand what's going on, form reasonable opinions, and then also not sort of get dragged into like looking at every single breaking news alert that comes onto my phone and like getting whipped up into a panic without kind of like knowing. I feel like when you're too deep in it, you lose perspective and you just start feeling like shit, and it's not useful. Like, I've really tried to create some kind of balance where like I'm aware of what's happening, but I'm not
Yeah.
panicking all day.
That was my experience in the first term. Was like I spent so much time like knowing everything that was happening, being worried and upset, and all of that, and like I don't think I really made a difference. But how do we then, take that balance and not just like check out and just let these terrible things happen? I don't know.
Off of that
On
fun
that note,
vibe.
Okay. Well, what's fun about DC? Like, do you get okay? Do you have you seen any fun politician sightings, celebrity sightings? Like, to me, that would be one of the most exciting parts. Is like maybe
yeah,
seeing Mayor Pete biking to work with his husband on the back.
This husband.
I've actually never personally seen Pete around here, but it's like a very normal part of like living in the city. Especially, I used to live really close to Capitol Hill, and we would see like senators and congresspeople in the Starbucks near our house on a relatively regular basis. Um,
Would you ever yell at them? I just feel like I really enjoy yelling at someone right now.
so it's actually really funny. Like that does happen. Like we will there. I think during the last administration, there were a bunch of stories about like people in the Trump administration going out for dinner somewhere, like somewhere
Oh, yeah.
fancy or whatever, and getting shouted down by other patrons. I heard a rumor at some time, and I don't know whether this is true, but
It's okay. We don't fact check. This is a vibes podcast.
this is vibes only. I can't vouch for this, but I did hear a rumor that Stephen Miller went to go get sushi at a place near his apartment and was like shouted down at the sushi place by like actual people who work there, and then he threw away the sushi after because he was worried they spit in his food. Yeah, so that's
I feel like that's their right as the restaurant.
to spit in food.
Not to spit, but to like be like, no, we don't want
Yeah,
you
that's
here.
illegal.
Yeah, I mean, not that
But
I
you can
begrudge
refuse
it, but
service.
yeah, you can refuse service. Most places don't. A lot of places will like decline to get involved in the political debates of the day,
Yeah,
but some places do.
yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Joey, do you have a question?
No. Like, well, I mean, I have stuff to talk about.
Let's get into
I have a
it.
question. Do you know Hassan Piker?
Do I know him personally?
No. Do you know about him?
Okay, yes, I know about
I'm
Hassan
wearing his
Piker.
lovely merch.
Oh my god, I didn't actually realize that.
Merch review.
So funny.
I did wear this 2 episodes ago, but
What are your
But now
feelings
you can
about
give-
Hassan Piker?
His feelings
Let's
are
talk
horny.
about it.
oh, I think he's fine.
Okay, that's
Well, okay. So I don't necessarily watch all of his politics stuff, but I do watch his podcast, Fear and, which I like.
Mhm.
Sometimes they talk about politics there, but mostly
I thought
not.
his whole thing is politics. Am I wrong about that?
That's what he does on Twitch. He streams politics news coverage like 8 hours a day, 7 days a
Yeah.
week, which like that's too much for me.
That is too much.
personally. But the podcast he does with other people, it's like just fun stuff, just vibes. So I love that. But I was just curious if you knew about him and what you think.
So I actually had never interacted with any of his content at all. And I ended up listening to this super long article in the New Yorker about him. I think it was in the New Yorker. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The one that was like MAGA body, liberal mind or something.
No, but that's an incredible tagline.
Oh, that was New York Times.
That's
Well, I'm not
so
giving
funny.
hot bodies to MAGA. I'm not giving
I
hot bodies
agree.
to MAGA.
I think they revised
They don't.
it.
They have not earned them.
Yeah, as they should. That doesn't make sense. But in any case, this was like about the lefty male internet space
Oh, okay.
and how like he is sort of the Joe Rogan of the left, as some people call him. But it was like kind of questioning that premise and like, who is he? What does he do? What does he stand for? Does the left need a Joe Rogan? Etc. Blah blah blah. It was very interesting. I also kind of was charmed by him. Like he sounds a little annoying from some of the like clips that they shared.
Yeah.
But also like in a funny way. Like I don't know. I was pretty charmed by it. But I don't know. I have never actually like watched his Twitch or listened to his podcast. I don't know what he.
Yeah. I watched him on election night. And it was nice. Like, I feel like he does a good job of actually breaking down what's happening and doesn't just do like reaction rage bait stuff that people on like the other side of the aisle, I feel like, tend to do. And I think part of the problem is that or not problem, but like I don't think he is like the left's Joe Rogan, because he is very like vocal about what he disagrees with the Democratic Party, and he has like his view, and he's
Yeah,
not
but
trying to
like the
recruit
Democratic
people
Party
or
isn't what I would describe as left, right? Like he's like a
yeah.
leftist. So, yeah, I guess in that way, it's like it's not functioning well for the Democratic Party, but it is like an actual leftist take, at least from what I can
Yeah,
gather.
like they invited him to the DNC, and then later kicked him out of
Yeah,
it.
well, that was stupid of them. I have no idea whose idea that
um,
was.
yeah, but sometimes I do feel like sometimes I'll watch his YouTube videos, which is like a summary of some of the stuff that he's talked about that week. And I feel like he does bring me some comfort in a way. Like I'm not someone who's super plugged in, but I feel like I can go to him to distill what has happened into like what that means to me or to what's going on in the country.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean when I say that I'm trying to like remove myself from the like fire hose of breaking news and consume things that I feel like okay, this is like digestible and also like giving me something beyond another horrible thing happened today and another horrible thing is going to happen in 5 minutes and another horrible thing is going to happen tomorrow. Like that's just it's hard.
yeah, but that also is like the world we live in now. Well, always pretty much.
Yeah. But I do think, like, I don't know. Obviously, the left is not doing a good job of reaching young voters and particularly young men. And so I don't know. I don't know if he's the answer, but I think we need something. And clearly, Joe Rogan has been working for the right.
Yeah, I do think like Hassan presents like, to go back to what you were talking about, like that article, I think is like he presents a version of masculinity that is similar but different in ways to what other men like male influencers present. Like he does have like a nice, I don't want to say nice body, but like
But you do want
that's
to
how
say
I
that.
would describe it. He has a strong, athletic, muscular build, right? And
He
he's kind of
lifts.
like a manly guy. He's has a beard. He's not like a clean cut kind of um, Timothy Chalamet vibe. You know what I mean? He's plays sports. He's constantly posting about basketball and weightlifting,
Yeah.
and he's also, I think, intelligent and well spoken, and sticks up for like women and trans people and LGBTQ, and he has like I don't remember the statistics, but he has like a really high number of transgender viewers on his
Oh, really?
channel. Like every year he does like a census of his chat, and he asks them like, how old are you, what's your sexual orientation, like race, whatever, and he has like a really high percentage of that. So I feel like he presents a really different version of masculinity that people can hopefully get behind versus like Andrew Tate, Joe Rogan, Ben Shapiro.
Ew, is Ben Shapiro a part of
I think
white
it is.
masculinity? That's scary.
Well,
Hmm.
he thinks he is.
Well.
I mean, these are like who people are watching. So whether they are, you call it masculinity or not, they're influencing the youths.
Hmm.
So,
Well, okay, review the merch. Now you've had a chance to really wear it.
oh, I think it's not very high quality. Like the T-shirt, it doesn't feel very nice. Um, it is union made in America, so plus
Okay.
one. I like the design. I think it's fun,
I
funny.
like the
It's
design
like
too.
internet conspiracy theories.
Wait, what does it say here? Oh my god, no. Okay, that's
I feel
funny.
like he's willing to make fun of himself in ways that other man influencers aren't.
Hmm.
Um,
I don't have enough experience with the manosphere, and frankly, I'll probably keep it that way.
it's better for your mental health.
Uh, okay. Well, do you guys have W's of the week or the year?
I
Whatever you
have a
want.
W of the week, which is getting to see my besties, 2 in person and 1 online.
Amazing.
I think it's been like a year since I came out here. I don't know if I've seen you or Rachel
It's been a year
since
already.
then. Yeah, I'm on my quitiversary.
I thought you came in like July last year. Am I crazy?
May or July, or well, not July. I feel like it was May, and it was like a weird freak heat wave.
Oh, okay.
But that's my
Cute.
W. Do you have a
Okay.
W?
My W. My W is about to happen when I see Rachel's baby and like when this podcast recording is over because she was napping when I first got here. I'm
Oh,
so
that's
excited.
fun.
I met her when she was first born, like, I don't know, she's probably like 2 weeks old.
Yeah.
So I think she's completely changed by now. She's 3 months old. That's like a universe of time in baby years.
Oh yeah.
True.
Okay, my W is content related.
Good.
Have
Love
you
it.
heard of the show Overcompensating on Prime Video?
No.
Oh, but I've seen clips.
Yes, it just came out yesterday, I think. Um, I've only seen 2 episodes so far, but it's basically like a college coming of age like story comedy, and it stars Benny Drama, and a lot of fun celebrity cameos. Like Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang are in it. Charlie XCX is in it. Mary Beth Barone is in it. But it's basically like a guy in college figuring out that he's gay, and a lot of hijinks are ensuing, and it's
Well, so
hilarious.
relatable.
Yes. And he's hot, and nobody knew. I'd
Coming out
never
of the
seen his
closet
body
as hot.
before. Yeah. He's like 6'5"
Wait,
and
who is
ripped.
this?
Benny Drama.
What's it called?
I'm gonna look
Overcompensating.
this up. Benny.
But yeah, Benito Skinner is
I mean,
his
I
real
have seen
name.
the pictures already, so I know.
Yeah,
Wow,
yes, you know
I'm missing out here.
you really are, but it's not too late because I
Yeah,
just got
I'm
in
literally looking
yesterday.
it up. Oh yeah. What the heck? I don't think I know who this person is though.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Well, this is his breakout role, some might say.
Well, he also wrote and stars in it.
Oh, that's so cool. Good for him.
Yeah,
Is he about the drama?
sort of, but he's very funny. He
Oh,
got his break, like he became famous, I think, in COVID doing like short form video joke stuff. Um,
TikTok queen.
yes. Um,
Fun.
but yeah, I
I have
love
an
shows like
L
that.
that's content related.
Okay.
Yeah, my L is that I think The Last of Us season 2 is so bad.
Oh my god. Wait, let's talk about it.
I think I'm 1 episode behind. It's like 4 in already.
Yeah.
The first season was so good. I think like top 10 shows, like for me personally,
Okay, wait,
like
did you play
ever.
the game? Like
We
did
had to play
you
the first game.
you hadn't played the second game
No.
though? Okay, yeah. If then in that case, were you shocked or did you know what was gonna
Oh, I
happen?
knew what was happening
Okay.
because I had been spoiled online.
Okay.
Like I knew, like when we were watching season 1, I knew that was going to happen
Okay.
already. So I just feel like there's no stakes left in season 2. Like Kip, I don't know if you're watching.
I don't even know. I know it's the Pedro Pascal show, but I don't know
Oh,
what it's about.
I still stand by season 1. So amazing. So it's a zombie
Okay.
kind of apocalypse show. And season 1 was all about there's a young, like a teenage girl who is actually immune to the virus or whatever it is, the infection, the mushroom. It's
Yeah,
like
it's like a
mushroom spores.
fungus. Yeah.
Okay.
So the whole season is like him trying to get her to this place where they could like make a vaccine to like save humanity with her from her blood. And then season 2, spoilers to those who haven't seen it yet, but by now, I mean, he dies. So what's the point of watching the show
In episode
without
2,
Pedro Pascal? Is number one. But then number 2, it's like you end up finding out, like I think at the end of the first season, that they can't actually use her to make a cure. So then season 2, I'm like,
wait, what do you mean? How do you find that out?
oh well, like they said like they've tried it with other people and it never worked.
What? That's not what happens.
Yes, it is. I'm pretty
They're
sure.
literally going to kill her in the surgery.
But I thought that he said they told him like it doesn't work. It's
Well,
never worked.
it hasn't worked in the past, but they are still like trying
Oh,
things. But the whole moral, the show is like trying to present different ethical quandaries. So in the first season, the like major moral issue is that Joel knows that they're going to basically kill Ellie, who's become like a daughter to him, in order to try to create a cure that could save the rest of humanity. And he's so unable to cope with that he literally murders everyone in the hospital in order to get her out,
Oh my god.
including a doctor who was like probably the only person left who could have created a cure that would save humanity. And he carries Ellie out of there unconscious, and he doesn't tell her what happened.
Oh my god.
So that's like the moral question of like, would you like save your child, or what is basically your child, from a certain death for the possibility of a cure, or, and like whatever. And then the second season, I guess the moral ish framework is around revenge and vengeance. So basically, the daughter of the surgeon that Joel killed in the first season comes back and murders him years later in the second episode of this season.
brutally.
Brutally murders him for what she did, or for what he did to her dad. And then the whole season, I guess, is like Ellie, the daughter's journey to trying to then exact vengeance on those people for doing what they did to Joel and like killing them brutally. I don't know how it ends. I didn't actually play the second
Yeah, I don't know
game.
yet.
So like it's interesting conceptually, like I am actually interested in that question of like vengeance or whatever, but I kind of agree it's like not really working for
Yeah,
me in
I'm
terms
just
of a
like,
watching experience.
girl, I'm sorry, but you gotta move on. Like to literally like travel by horseback to hundreds of miles away to go try to find someone in a zombie apocalypse to kill them. I'm like, that's just crazy.
I feel like they made her personality so off-putting that it's almost unrealistic. Like she's so annoying to watch. And I actually really like Bella Ramsey. Like this is not a casting complaint. It is like
Yeah.
how they wrote Ellie.
Season 1, she was so amazing. I
Yeah,
loved
like I had
everything
no,
about it.
yeah. I think they're, and then also, okay, we just find out in the last episode, sorry if I'm spoiling you, but whatever, that Dina, her girlfriend, is pregnant.
Yeah, I saw that one.
And she's still like, yeah, I'm going to continue putting you in danger. I don't know. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
go home.
that I thought was wild. And then also there's like a bow and arrow cult. I'm like, it's been like 20, 30 years tops. We haven't devolved into like
No.
this cult that believes in like a prophet that can predict things and they like scar their bodies and shoot bow and arrows. I'm like, what happens?
Well, they don't believe in technology or something because their goddess told them not to. I don't
Yeah, I'm
know.
like, how could you get so far off in Delulu in like 10 years, 20 years, whatever it is?
Well, that's a long time.
Yeah, that. And then I also hated, there was in the episode where Joel dies, there was like a zombie stampede of like 20, 50,000 zombies out of
Yeah.
nowhere. And then they have episodes where they're just walking through whatever and there's absolutely no danger. And I'm like, this is so far off from what I think reality would be. Versus season 1, I felt like was so real feeling
Hmm.
that they kind of lost me.
Did you watch Station
Yeah,
11?
I did.
No, you told me about it though before.
How similar does it feel?
It's really different.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Season 1 is so good. Like I will like just go rewatch season 1 instead of season 2, probably.
I love Station 11. I thought it was really, really good.
It was amazing. It was really traumatizing to watch like right after COVID.
Oh my God, it was like way too soon. Like the first episode where they're like all on the train and the sickness is spreading and shit, I was like, I'm too traumatized for this. I can't watch it.
I know, but I would have
Incredible
wanted
show
to
though.
die. I would not have wanted to build.
Okay, that's what I always say.
Me
I'm like,
too.
in the apocalypse, I hope to be gone like soon. I will not be among the stragglers of humanity
Yeah,
fighting to
I agree.
survive. Like the road, Cormac McCarthy, that would not be me,
Oh
never be
my
me.
god.
Yeah,
I would have been the person who was like, you know what? We had a good run.
the
Our time
mom.
here
Yeah,
is over. Also, I'd be a liability to everyone. Like, what the fuck would I do? I can't
yeah. We were talking about like
survive.
if we were in the Hunger Games, what would we do?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
like in the actual arena.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would hide.
I mean, yeah, you have to hide.
No, I know what I would do. I mean, you can hide. I would jump off the
What
platform
would you
before
That's what I said.
the
Actually,
clock
I would just jump
starts.
off and die, and just
Yeah,
get
because
it
don't
over
they
with.
explode you? Don't you
Yeah,
Yeah.
explode? Yeah, so I would explode. Like diva down. But I'm not taking out
Diva down.
23 girlies.
yeah. That's a lot. Plus, as a kid, I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Ugh.
Those
Yeah.
books are so good, though.
Have you kept up with it? Like once for
I
me, once
just
the three were over, that was it for me.
I recently reread all of them, as well as the two. Well, I reread the original trilogy and the two newer ones.
Oh, you're like really fresh then, you know.
Yeah, but the problem is I read them all in like a week, so my brain like doesn't know what to do with all that information.
I love Hunger Games. But I haven't reread the books, like the original trilogy, in a really long time. I have rewatched the movies quite a few times since then,
Yeah,
but I did just read the newest one, Sunrise on the Reaping,
yeah,
which I thought was excellent.
I
Highly
really liked
recommend.
it.
Okay.
I watched Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I didn't read the book, so I can't speak for the book, but I do have to say I don't think there was any point in that story being written, and I thought the movie was awful.
Any point in the story being written,
Like we don't need a snow prequel. Like,
I actually liked the movie.
oh, I thought it was so bad.
I liked they were like there was like a question they say it's kind of like um it's like basically everybody turns into like a killer or a survivalist when they're in the arena, and it's like what is the world but a bigger arena. And then Lenore, what's her name, the girl Lucy
Lenore,
Greybeard
yeah,
was
yeah,
like, but I think the point of being a human is to try to stay like good as long as possible. I don't know, I kind of just liked that. um it was like viewing the world in the same way but having two paths to take in it,
yeah,
where Snow was like, well, if it's like that, I'm just gonna do my best to kill everyone and rise to the top, and she was like, well, I'm gonna try to be me as long as I can.
yeah. I just felt like he was kind of a psychotic from the beginning, like even before
Yeah,
everything happened, and there was really no redemption, which I actually think is good because it's kind of annoying to try to like give the villain. Sometimes it can be really cheaply done, I think. Um, but I went into it with an open mind. I was like, okay, like maybe this will be worth it in some way. But I don't know. I just feel like
yeah, I think it's like you don't feel bad for him, but I think you also see how like in some ways he is not just like people in the districts. He is not really like they're forcing him down this path. Like he has choices to take where maybe his life is ruined, but he could be not like a perpetrator of these bad things.
yeah.
But it just like, do I want to feed my grandma and my sister, or do I want to like do this? What do I do?
Yeah, but that's not all that was going on because he was also just like power hungry at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like, cause I don't think it casts him in a sympathetic way, but I thought it. I just like that
There
it
was a
kind of
complicating factor.
it drew a lot of parallels to me. But that book, it was hard for me to get through. It's actually the longest book that she's
Ballad.
written. Yeah.
Have you read any of them?
I read the 3, but I've not read the 2 newest.
The Sunrise on the Reaping, I think, is the best book of all of them.
I loved it. I thought
Oh.
it was so good.
Can you give like a brief synopsis that doesn't spoil?
Well, it's impossible to spoil, really, because it's a prequel. But
True.
Oh, they're both prequels?
yes, so Sunrise on the
Oh.
Reaping is Hamish's story.
Got it.
Which I was also maybe just like more bought into that immediately. Like I was like, I don't really give a fuck about President Snow. Not gonna, just sorry, but I
No,
don't
I
care.
agree.
Um,
I agree.
I couldn't get behind it. There was nothing about it that I felt was necessary. But the Haymitch one, I was immediately like, oh, I'm very interested in that. It was good that I had watched Ballad actually, because I feel like there were several things I would not have understood unless I had already had experience with one of the prequels. But it was just really well done. Like, you know, it's like YA vibes for sure. It's a YA book, but I thought it, like the rest of the books, like the original trilogy, I feel like it deals in really heavy themes with a really deft hand that is like appropriate for readers of that age, that is also like pretty thought-provoking. But it's basically about how Haymitch ends up being drafted into the Hunger Games and his experience eventually becoming the winner. And it's very cool because it sets up all the pieces for what eventually becomes the revolution later in the original trilogy.
Oh, okay.
So that's really cool. Like you meet BT and YRS and a bunch of people that
even like
really...
Effie is introduced in that book, and that's one thing I actually liked about Songbirds and Snakes is it really talked a lot about like what the games were and how they evolved into what they are today because of Snow and his influence and him playing chess with people to like basically he like cheated to win. But all the ways that he cheated, they ended up like incorporating into moving forward.
One of my friends made the point that like if you think about it from the perspective of like she's almost writing like a history of the Hunger Games from start to finish, then that's why all of those books are necessary. Because I was saying to her the same thing, like, why do we need this? Like, I don't feel like we need to learn about President Snow.
So is there more coming?
That was the way she was thinking about it. I don't know.
She hasn't confirmed, but people are saying that, or hoping, I guess, that she's going to write one about Finnick and Annie.
Oh.
I was going to say my intro line was, I'm Joseph and I'm still not over Finnick.
I'm definitely not over that.
I will say on reread, the politics of the books hits a lot deeper versus when I read them like 10 years ago.
Yeah. I remember in high school being so shook because I thought that I was picking up like a love triangle story. I thought it was going to be kind of like fun at the end of the day. Yeah. And then by the third book, I was traumatized.
Yeah.
By the horrors of war. And I did not expect that.
I remember reading it and being like anxious and freaking out. And then going to see the movie was like kind of like traumatic in some ways. Like when they call Prim's name and Katniss starts screaming, like, I don't know.
Those movies hold up.
Yeah. I just rewatched them too. They're very good.
Oh, I should rewatch.
Sometimes I don't like the way Katniss, like the way that she played her.
Oh, really?
I don't know. It's like I think it's hard because she's trying to be like a young teenager.
Yeah.
But, I feel like I really enjoy the other characterizations more, like Haymitch and Effie and even Peeta, I think is good.
Yeah. Okay. Did you see, going back to Pedro Pascal, did you see the recent photos of him at Cannes?
I've seen him with Emma Stone in The Bee.
He has lost a ton of weight. And
really?
people are, look this up. It's
Is
like
he
people
Okay, I'm
are.
Googling right
re-entering
now.
re-entering his daddy era again?
I would say it's
Re-entering? He left?
re-entering
I don't
baby
think he ever
era.
left, but like he went from the daddy era to that daddy era.
No, he's
Okay, wait.
like,
I'm just like, wait. So at Cannes, you said?
Yeah, what do I
yeah.
Google for that?
Well, here, just click this link.
Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh. Wait, first of all, this fit is incredible.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm a fan.
Are you sure it's not just the all black? He looks cinched though.
Yeah, no, he's lost weight for sure.
No, he's lost a lot of weight. Like, look at his chin. Like, it's
Wow. He's
his
really
face definition
reheating
is.
Benson Boone's reheated Harry Styles nachos.
I don't like that phrase.
I know, but I feel like it's appropriate in this context.
Yeah. Well, did I
How
already
he's
say
such a
this? I'm
cutie.
at my lowest weight in like a long time.
I'm at my highest.
Same.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Um,
Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. Would either of you ever? I'm not on a GLP-1, but I would do it. Would either of you ever consider it?
See, I thought no, but now I'm thinking.
Oh my god.
I mean, I don't think I need it at this point in time, but if I did need it in the future,
I mean, I would take it if there was like a serious health issue, like, you know.
I
for
would take it
me,
for
I feel
vanity
like
purposes.
I think well, that's fair, but I have like a stress eating thing that
Yeah.
is like the reason why I would consider taking it.
Same for
But
me.
I'm
I
trying to
think
fix it
like
myself first.
yeah. From what people say about the food noise being gone, that would be very helpful for me because I wake up and I think about what I'm going to eat. And I don't think about eating carrots. I think about like ordering a bacon breakfast burrito. Like I've been thinking about that all morning. I'm still thinking about it right now.
And have you ordered it?
No, but the day is young. They're open till 3.
I think it's interesting. Like, I don't know like the full side effects yet, and maybe we just also don't know that yet because it's so new. But like, if it was like became more of like just like a health maintenance thing, I don't
Yeah.
see
I
an
mean, I
issue
wouldn't
with
want to be
that.
on it forever, but I'm interested.
I feel like the side effects do scare me. Like I have family members that are on it like for medical reasons, like diabetes and stuff. Um, and some of them are fine, but I also know about people who get really nauseous, like can't. I don't know. I just don't want the pleasure of food taken from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, food is nice. I I have like a really addictive personality where I become obsessed with things, and I feel like this might like dial that back a little.
Yeah.
Like, isn't there like studies showing like it helps people with addiction?
Yeah.
I
Oh
don't have like
yeah.
luckily any like dangerous things, but sometimes I get a little wild.
I feel like you're very regimented. Like you are obsessed with routines.
Yes, and I think it's because I know if I don't, I go off the deep end. Like I'm very strict about eating on a schedule and going to sleep on time and getting enough sleep and not having too much caffeine
I
and
wish I was
like
like that. I
because
feel like
otherwise I go crazy.
I feel like I cannot do that. Like I physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally am incapable of following a routine and a schedule, and especially that like strict. It's like I can have an idea of what I'm going to do in my day, but if I were doing that, I think I don't even know what I
Yeah.
would wilt.
I mean, I do enjoy planning and being organized. Like that makes me feel good. But a lot of it is in college. I really realized like if I am not super strict, I will like truly snap.
Is it an anxiety thing or what?
I think it's like a mix of anxiety and depression. Like one of those two girlies will get me if I don't.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm super strict. And like exercise is a must for me because that helps like reduce the risk of whatever. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't been exercising the last couple of weeks because work has been so crazy and I feel such a big difference. And I've really just started to understand like I am not someone who can like rest on my laurels. It's like I actually have a lot of tactics I have to employ at all times
See,
to keep myself sane. And if I don't, I quickly start unraveling. And exercise is definitely one of those things. Like if I stop completely for a while, I start losing my mind.
yeah. I mean, I think this is like what humans were supposed to do. We weren't supposed to be sitting behind a screen all day doing nothing.
We were
Yeah,
supposed
but
to be hunting and gathering.
other people don't have that though, I feel like other people don't have to work so hard.
I think most people do, but I do think there are some that don't.
There's just a lot of
Yeah.
stuff I have to do all the time.
Yeah. No, but I think most people, if they're not like super on top of everything, then they just let themselves get lazy and like fall apart too.
Because I think to be a high performer, which I would think consider us all high performers, you have to do that. Girl, you do more stuff than any of us.
But I don't do it that well. Just kidding.
Well, I think you do. I think most people would say you do.
Um yeah, no. I don't know. I've been thinking a lot actually about ambition and wanting to be a high performer actually, and I'm feeling less ambitious than ever. I don't really have the same kinds of career aspirations as I used to. And that's actually part of the move to Portland too, is that I feel very much like DC is a place where a lot of the times people move here with really fancy careers or trying to get to really fancy careers or cool jobs. And it's not that I don't resonate with that at all, but my goals have definitely changed. And I feel a lot more like, to me, high performing at this point means that I am like well as a human being.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't necessarily have the same desire for like, I really need to be working at this place and like covering this subject. It's just like, I would like to wake up and feel not panicked and stressed immediately from the moment I open my eyes, and be like excited and creative and
Yeah.
you know
That's exactly where I'm at. Like I'm on my 1 year quit anniversary because I like
congrats.
took that leap and now I'm thinking of quitting again.
Are you actually?
Not really. I like the
Yeah.
paycheck at this point in time. But it's like to your point, like I don't need to be like making X amount of money or working at whatever kind of company. Like my goal now is like just being happy and healthy and having like a job that will make that easy and support me without being like the best thing or my career growth or climbing the ladder. Like I want to get off the ladder, off the treadmill, the metaphorical one,
Yeah.
And on the
on the
real
real one.
treadmill.
Yeah.
I'm wrestling with this internally because I've had a job now for 6 years that's like been very nice and pretty easy and let me have a really good work-life balance and all of that, and it's gotten really bad over the last couple months, and as I
Oh
like
no.
figure out what's next for me, I'm really wrestling with all of these questions.
Do you
And what is the
feel
balance?
like you want a job that's like different from what you're doing right now, or do you feel like you want to stay in this
I would love
grind?
to pivot, but I don't know how to do it. I feel so trapped into what I do. Like I just fell into it, and now I'm like 10 years in, and
Yeah.
I think the skills are transferable, but probably not at like my compensation level.
Mm.
And we do really enjoy our lifestyle.
Yeah. My best advice for you is if you can to truly just take 2 months off
Yeah, that we'll
or more.
see. We'll see if and how this ends, and if and how there's a payment made to me.
Mm.
Yeah, because when I did that, I feel like it really gave me more direction. Like sometimes just being still,
Yeah.
metaphorically, and
Yeah.
literally, like makes you really realize what you do miss and what you do enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And then you also have more time and energy to then go after what you want to do and not maybe settle for like whatever just kind of comes next, or you know what I mean, falls in your lap.
I feel like I
Yeah.
made that mistake where I quit my job and then I was like going to take a couple of months off and I really didn't. Like I was working still for a lot of that time.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean it's hard, especially if opportunities come to
yeah,
you. Or that's how I ended up in my job now, was like they were like, hey, we have this job opening, like do you want it? And I'm like, well, Trump just got elected, I might want a steady paycheck, and here
exactly.
I am.
That's the other thing is the economy feels really bad. But I
Yeah.
have not I every ever since college, but even then I've really not taken any time off, and every job I've had I've like quit on Friday and started the next one on Monday. So I do think
Yeah.
that would be
Wow.
restorative for me in a way. But my fear, of course, is that I would then not be willing to go back to work.
Honestly, now that I haven't been in an office for a long time, I feel nervous about the thought of ever trying to go back because I
I can never go back
work for
5 days a
myself
week.
basically.
Yeah,
Ugh,
I'll
sounds
just never do
terrible.
that. But there is a universe where I have to give up something.
Yeah. I mean, well, you are middle aged now, so might be time to thinking about how you want to spend the rest of your half of life.
What are you talking about? Kip, are you older than
My
us?
dad told me I was
No,
middle aged.
What?
I think
Yeah,
I'm young. I'm younger than Joey, and I think you're in November.
you're the
Yeah, I'm the
youngest.
youngest.
Yeah,
He
okay,
was
so we're
like
like
30 to
in
40
between.
is middle aged. I was like, that's crazy.
30
No,
to
30 to
40?
40 is not middle age. 30 to 60 is middle age.
Well, because
If
he's
we're
like
gonna do the math.
60 to 80 is like life expectancy.
Sorry, 60 is not middle-aged, Kip.
What are
That's
you
not
talking
that's
about?
not half of your life.
That's not really what it means, though, because I Googled it and Miss Google said 40 to 60 is middle aged.
Okay.
That
I mean, I
feels
could
right-ish to
that
me.
feels right. But 30 is young. I don't think we're
That's what I said.
middle-aged.
I was like, I call myself a young adult. And he was like,
Okay, you're not a young adult. Let's not live in Delulu land.
well, what am I, a middle aged
You're just
adult?
an adult. You're not a young adult. Like
Well, I'm not
No,
an
you're not
old
young
adult.
anymore. It's true.
Well, like Miley Cyrus, I feel younger now.
you can feel however you
No,
want
I
to
feel
feel.
old. I feel middle aged. I'm in my pickleball era. I'm already there.
Oh my god. I just think I'll probably live to 90. So I'm just splitting my life into thirds, which is young, middle, and old. And
I
middle
don't
would
want
be
to
30
live
to
till
60.
90.
You
I
don't?
didn't say I
When do you
want
want to
to, but
die?
I think 82 sounds good.
82.
Yeah.
That's so specific.
Well, 80 is like, well, I might want an extra year or two. Because 80 is a milestone. You want to just die immediately at 80. I'm like, let me have a little extra.
Okay, I don't get that. I'll live till 90.
I
Why
think
not?
90, I'm like this, and I'm like, can't do
yeah.
anything. But
My
80, I feel like
That's
I
not
could do a little bit.
true. My grandma is 88, about to turn 88.
Wow.
She's up. She's walking around, she's hanging out, she's living her life.
Good for her. But men don't live as long as women, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. No, it just depends. But like my grandma died in January and she was bedridden her last like couple of years. So like for
Ugh, that's
me,
horrible. That's hard.
I
Yeah.
would prefer to skip that portion of life, but it's not really up to us.
Well, in some ways it is.
That's true. I'm definitely whenever we get assisted sui, I'm definitely
Oh my God, Kip.
well, no, not right away. I'm just like, yeah, that's my
You're like,
plan.
day one, I'm doing it. Goodbye.
Okay, I think we need to
Yeah.
discuss
On that
Kip's
note,
health.
thanks everyone for watching.
You can find us on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Baby That's Cont. And you can follow our personal Instagrams at Jojo_Patron and at Queen Kip. And Natalie, do you want people to find you?
No, I'm a mystery.
Okay.
Everything's private. You can't find me anywhere.
It is funny, if you Google my first, like, Kip and then my last name, like, almost nothing comes up, which is shocking. But because it's not my real name.
Oh, I am very Googleable.
Yeah,
but
your name's out there.
We just won't tell people.
Bye.
Wait, are we supposed to say anything else?
New episodes come out every Tuesday. Please follow us on your preferred podcasting network.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you for being here. Bye, everyone.
Bye.